IMC Nation, and I'm streaming to you here from the Pegasus House in Las Vegas. This is where I live with Arash Dibazar, founder of IMC Nation, the guy with all the tattoos, bald. I'm also bald, and you see him in all these powerful clips that we put out that grow these channels. And we also have done many podcast streams. I've done a lot. You know, I live with this guy. And he's a foremost expert on relationships between men and women and on earth. And when you become an expert of relationships between men and women, then you also become an expert of relationships between men and men. If you don't have expertise in relationships between men and men, then you're not having real male to female relationships because you are not a man. If you don't have any relationships with any men, there's no way you could be a man. And so you have to become an expert at men to men relationships, tribe dynamics, because that's the power cell or the power structure that keeps the woman feeling safe for a long time. And it's an ingredient to seduction. It's not all seduction, right? Cali Pack, you know about this. So, tribal dynamics. That's what we are playing out here in Las Vegas. And guys, get your questions ready, comments. You can go live. Let's talk. Can't do it on YouTube, but you can make your comments. And, you know, but let's talk it out. It's, what is it, Saturday night or Sunday night? You know, every night here is Saturday night in Las Vegas. Even if it's dry season, even if it's wet season, even if it's whatever season, any season of the year, there's stuff going on here. And that's because it's a tourist hub, a tourist center, so there's always traffic coming through. So it's a great practice ground for what we do. Now, on top of that, we live in bases, and you have the opportunity to live in bases also. Some of you guys I see are alumni, like Cali Pack, Mondo, these guys that are on Instagram. They could live in a base because the bases now are no longer official bases. There's 2 official bases, Pegasus and Eden. Then there's 3 other houses where like 15 guys live in, and then a whole bunch of high-level guys that are scattered, like Monster, Chris Lopez, Guerrero. Like, these guys don't live in a base yet, and I don't know when they will, but there are bases, and the social dynamics at a base, you evolve much faster because you're constantly interacting with or regularly interacting with guys that are on a certain path, a path of certainty about their mental, spiritual, emotional, everything development, just the development of the system and the relationships to life, to objects, to people, to life. And that's quite a dangerous man in today's society that has inspected his relationships with life and has the positive feedback of other guys who are doing the same. You have some really powerful mirroring and mirrors happening that feed back to you what you're being like, the consequences of your actions, the social consequences of your actions. Master myself, another guy that is in a base right now. You know, very powerful. Guys, come live. If you want to go live, just request to go live. The very powerful dynamic, a vehicle for personal evolution. Master myself, I'll bet it's incredible. Even living with some rookies like Obed, although the other guys aren't rookies. So you have Obed, Luna, and Rick all in that base. That's amazing. And Luna's practically a black guy. So that's like 4 black guys in a base. It's our first all-black base. It's amazing. So, quite a vehicle for evolution. Even if you're way over there, you have the ability to come around Pegasus and Eden. They're at base 4. It's not officially a base. But we got base 2, base 4, and I Am Paradise, where guys are living there. And the social dynamics, do you just go alive? Live. I think you mean live. Did you just go alive? Live. Did I just go live? I don't understand the question because I'm live right now. So what is your question exactly? Because it's obvious. So I don't know if that's exactly what you're asking. I think you're trying to ask something else. Direct communication is another thing. When you live with other guys, you learn to say it for what it is and not beat around the bush. That's what women do. They beat around the bush. They don't say it. So you've adopted feminine qualities asking a question like, did you just go live? Fool, I'm live. What are you asking me? That's like, did you just take an inhale? It's like, did you just look at me? What, or Captain Obvious is what we call. I'm Captain Yogi Chris. That's Captain Obvious over there. Did you just go live? That's hilarious. Okay, guys, on TikTok, invite to go. I don't know if anybody has requested. You can request to go live. Let's talk game. You know, guys don't have places to talk game. It's one of the main points of this whole live right now, which I'm not recording. Fuck, on Zoom. I should record these really. Is that guys don't have places to talk game. They don't have guys to talk. It's not that guys should talk relationships, but yeah, where else did you learn? Because your parents didn't teach you, school didn't teach you. I took so many classes. I was great, 12 grades, and then 12 years of university, and of a PhD and all this shit, and 24 and a half years of school, and they didn't teach relationships. And it's the most important thing because it's the one thing that'll ruin your life. They don't teach taxes and relationships. And those are the two things that'll ruin an honest man's life that'll still ruin your life because you don't know how to do it. Right? Why don't they teach that? They teach all the other shit that you don't need. It's fucking amazing. And what do you do? What are you doing, man? Again, that's an obvious question. What are you doing, man? And what do you do? That's quite a question. I think if he wasn't beating around the bush, I think what Chris Winstead or Wilstead is asking is how do I make money? But he's asking, what do you do? So I'm left to interpret what he's saying. What do you do? Or are you asking me, like, what do I do with my time? Like, are you being personable? Like, you know, what are you passionate about? Or are you being intrusive? Like, how do you make money? How do you make money, Chris? That's what I'll ask you. This is 20 questions. What do? I do a lot of things. I do all sorts of things. But what I'm known for here in Las Vegas with IMC Nation is I'm captain of IMC Nation and I'm the yogi of IMC Nation. So I teach a lot. Okay? So when you live in a base around other guys that are IMC that practice and work with the philosophy of relationships, of influential communication, discipline, and a warrior-like lifestyle of an urban monk, then you get a lot of interesting feedback because we're not all the same, of course, we're all very different, but we have these commonalities. I mean, living as a warrior urban monk, what does that mean? I don't have a bed. I sleep on the floor. I wake up early, no matter how late we go out. I'm responsible for my own money. I clean up after myself in a very aesthetic way. Like, I don't live as just I live very responsibly, and I'm not just in my room. Like, I live amongst the guys. We also work together, go out together, get chicks together, host events together. But we're not attached to the hip. We all live our own lives. We're just so coordinated that we come together and go apart and come together. Sorry, I didn't hear what you said, brother. Audio wasn't working. Is audio working now? I'm curious. Let me know. Okay. Guys, on TikTok or Instagram, you can go live. YouTube, you can't go live. So, but YouTube, you can still message pimpandyogi at imcbase1.com and get involved with newsletter, Telegram groups, whatever. And then you'll see these Zoom streams and everything. And then you can participate. Yes, you can hear it now. Perfect. Okay. So, I don't know what you guys think about this. It's quite an environment. You know, I talk with guys around the country and the world who are seeking game advice. And so much of this game advice, audio is working. Yes, right on. D-Rebel. What's up? So, you know, I talk with guys, and guys are in some fucked up situations with women. Man, how has your day been? Chris Westmoreland. You're very participatory, Chris Westmoreland. All has been well here. Spoke with my father today, earthly father, and, you know, gave him some assurances, and, you know, it's such a blessing that I can still connect with that guy. And it's amazing. Life's amazing. Everybody look at this little crystal right here. I don't know why, it's just a distraction. Look at that crystal. There it is. It's like a little obelisk. Okay. Yes, that is how you say it. Okay. The environment's very suppressive to guys when they talk about relationships. They have no one to talk about it with. Women have everybody to talk about it with because the whole culture is feminist and suppressive, and they turn on the news, they turn on a sitcom, they turn on whatever, and it's feeding back a lot of ideas that, quote, empower women in the short term, but it's very disempowering for a woman to disempower a man because a man is needed and useful. I get in most circumstances not, but there are certain situations that only a man's man can step up. Now, if they make men so weak then it may be a point in time where women are actually better to step up for that because they've made men so weak. But there'll still be some standout men, and the standout men will always shine brighter than the standout women. There's standout women, but they don't even compete to the standout men. And that's just the way God made it. So they can do all the genetic manipulation until they, create the anti-God situation, whatever. As long as God's around, then that's the way it is in Homo sapiens sapiens on this planet. And so it's very disempowering for a woman to disempower men. But what actually empowers the woman in the most in the long term is empowering a man through her submissiveness. And that is earned in the truest sense. It can't be forced. It can't be done out of obligation or none of that. It's just a natural reaction, cause and effect. What goes up must come down. The woman submits when the man is dominant. And dominant in her preference and so that's why they mind wash the woman, so she's looking for the wrong things in a man. She never ends up getting with a dominant man because all the qualities of dominance she's been programmed to perceive in a very negative light. And truth be told, most men that are quote dominant are very toxic with a lot of negativity, thanks to women, of course. But then we just go ancestral karma. Then it's because of the men, because of the women, because of the men, because of the women. So because of the curse of Earth, basically. That's what it is. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you have my attention. Ah, you stopped. You gave up. Man, you're going through a lot of work with those comments. That's impressive. Okay. Guys, we're going to wrap it up in like 5-6 minutes. If there's anybody online that wants to go live, you can request to go live if you're on that stuff. So, what else should be said about it? Anything? I think I made my point, really. The bases offer this, it's quite an opportunity to live with other adult males, practicing game, learning, studying game, and especially the discipline of our nightlife schedule. How we run our schedule, it's like warriors. How we're coordinated, it's fucking soldier-esque. And our understandings of the light and the dark and the interactions between people. In so many ways, in so many lenses, I can interpret our interactions when we're out. But it's definitely fun. Like scientists get a bad rap, like they're all nerdy and caught up in it. And maybe we are a little bit. We're definitely nerds that grew up. Even if I was a jock, I was an athlete, I was a soldier, I was a warrior. I was originally a nerd. And who knows what I was originally before that. But I definitely grew up a nerd like that. And I have learned to enjoy the social life with the most beautiful women and the most aligned, powerful men, really. The kind of man that doesn't get swayed left or right, up or down, forward or back, by women. Maybe some of the guys would get swayed by money or by prestige or by a fighter or something like that. We all have varying levels of reactiveness to that sort of value. But definitely the value that we don't react to, that every other man in the world reacts to, is the beauty of a woman and the seduction of a woman. And maybe some of the guys also react to some level. It depends on the caliber of woman and how many of them and what level of seduction. But more than any group of men out there, this group of men is not influenced. And it doesn't mean we don't get women, because that's the thing. Some groups, they'd be like, we're not influenced by women, but they're like way off in living in the woods or isolating from women or MGTOW and just don't even get any women. They're not seductive or charming at all. That's like saying I don't get in any fights, but you run away from everybody. Okay, that doesn't make you a good fighter. You're not a good fighter because you don't get in any fights. You're not a good conflict resolutioner just because you run away from everybody. Versus the person that goes into the most dangerous neighborhoods and doesn't get in any fights because they can actually resolve every single conflict. That's IMC Nation in Las Vegas with the kind of girls that are around here. It's not and it doesn't involve drugs, it doesn't involve alcohol. It's actually very righteous. It's dope. It's all mindset. Do not say that to him. He is saying the truth. Can you F.A.? I don't know what that is trying to even say. Man, you have made my night better. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. If that's the truth, then I would say get involved. Go to the link in the description and get involved. That's what it is. I'm Yogi Chris, captain of IMC Nation. Main teacher is AZD. 95% of what's taught is AZD. I show up and I do my thing. And I'm a student, practitioner of the social dynamics, how AZD teaches it. And in this lineage, it is very much built on the base structures of the guys living together and working this common philosophy of lifestyle. And that accelerates your evolution with this because you got so much garbage in your head and you're putting up with so much suppressiveness, so much anti-masculinity, anti-man, feminism in your life. It's just drenched through and through. All your decisions, all your thinking processes. It's very disturbing actually how much it is. And because I talk with guys that are on the personal development path of this alpha dating, red pill, whatever, relationship stuff, and they're struggling. They are confused. They have so much garbage in their head. And the ones that don't join up, don't join the programs, get on the newsletters, get involved with the telegrams, Instagrams, and get in communication with us, see how we express ourselves. That don't, I know that they're even worse. And I know because I've done a large enough sample size, a sampling of all the people out there. I've been at this for years. I've talked with hundreds of guys. I know so many storylines of different guys and who makes it and who doesn't. And the guys who don't join are super, super lost. They're so confused and they're lying. They're secretive, which is very dangerous for women and for life out there. A secretive man is not safe. It's depicted gloriously like James Bond, secret agent, whatever. That man is not okay. You can't hold secrets like that and be okay. And maybe there's a handful that do, but they're not good with women. That's, again, a movie depiction of it. They're not. Because secrets will fuck you up. Now, you will always have insider and family secrets and technological secrets and patents. And, like, we have technological secrets of communication. Communication is a technology. When you know how to do it, when you know what words to say, when to say them, how to think about communication, your mindset approaching a communication. These things, this is techniques. Techniques are technology. AZD is teaching a technology of relating with women that the results of his technology is multiple, beautiful, what is that? Multiple. That's 2 to the power 3. That's 8. He has at least 8 girlfriends that don't talk to other guys, that in their heart and mind are only for AZD. And he talks to many other women. And they're very beautiful, high-value women. How do you have 8 girlfriends for years? Same girlfriends, some of them are newer, some of them have been around over 10 years. 10 years. That's top on the planet, seduction. And he did it through the science of pickup, not getting rich or famous and then getting the women, but actually getting rich and famous because he got women, but was poor. Martial artist, monk, when he started learning pickup and game. That's real game. And now it's years later of teaching it also. He's mastered it. And the landscape, the culture is so against men. So against men. So much in your education that you don't even know. You don't even know how much against men everyone around you is. Even you. You are against yourself. Just based on your masculinity. How do I get my girlfriend to love me more? Well, there's techniques and there's the truth. The truth is the more you love God, then the more your girlfriend will love you. But that girlfriend may hate you. So you may have to get another girlfriend. But then your girlfriend will love you more. But, otherwise you become more seductive, more charming, more high value, and then I'm sure she'll love you also. That's going to take a lot of techniques and stuff. Which we also do. That's what we do. Okay? Alright, so nobody wants to go live. So I'm going to end it. It's 7 and start on the next processes. Thanks everybody for attending. DM the account for any questions. Go to the bio, click the links, all that stuff to get involved. Os.